Hello there. Thank you for tuning into limpopo.podcast. This episode is sponsored by Premier Health Management Group. Have you gotten into an accident? Struggling to claim your RAF? Premier Health is here to assist you with all proceedings, providing you with the best doctors for your injuries. We are available in 4 provinces: Gauteng, Northwest, Limpopo, and Mpumalanga. For more information, please get in contact with Mahlatsi Manyama via the contact details that are provided on the screen. We are looking forward to hearing from you. Enjoy the rest of your Welcome to another episode of Limpopo Podcast. You already know your boy Omee, Otis, Don Malapisani right here on the biggest platform in the province. I'm talking about Limpopo province. Today we are joined by a gentleman. This man loves himself. You know what? I haven't seen so many people who actually take themselves seriously like this man. He loves himself. That is something that I've realized about him. He's so clean. Whenever he speaks, he gives you that Obama feeling. You wanna listen. You know what I mean? He's a healing coach. He's an MC. He's a comedian. I'm talking about James, aka Chomi. Yeah, Jeso. My brother. Hey, brother, you're so tall. Even your leg now is taking over. Yeah. How are you, sir?
Well, my brother, like a sharp, man. What's again? All loud tush.
Ne?
Yeah, yeah.
And you're always so clean. Let's talk about this before we can even go far. I don't like your attire. It's always on point. Actually, James.
It's a lot. Yo, how many? I think I now have slightly above 20. 80 white shirts. What I did white thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then I've got a couple of colored ones, silk. Yeah, but then mostly it's white. I prefer white anyway.
Yeah,
so
well,
I have a lot. I think I prefer to wear a white shirt every day. So yeah.
So the clean. What is it? It's called one. The cleanliness. Was it cleanliness or the neat? Being neat.
Speed.
Neat.
Neat.
Yeah. Like, is it something that you grew up with, or it's
not necessarily? I think I've always been motor about clean, obviously. But then I think it won't allow too much when you start wearing something issue. So until white, and also formally drama are very neat and look very matured and organized.
Yeah.
So formal can also be deceiving because it is very presentable. So that's why sometimes when I graduate, because formal can do that too.
Sure.
Yeah. So now I'm always in a formal. So yeah, I guess that's why.
Oh, I think they said you must move a bit.
Towards the mic.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but sharpen now. Okay. Something that I've realized about you is you're always pushing your content inside your car. And most probably the same spot, if I'm not mistaken. The background always looks familiar, looks the same in a way. What is the motive behind, that thing that you always do? Like you always be in your car, give a motivational, and then off you go.
Sure. And I was saying this, Malovanyana, a lot of people don't understand branding, and branding works.
Yeah.
So that was intentional, is branding. So because like I put it the same way, always a shirt issue and then you put a tie. And then the positioning as well is just to be consistent, like image.
Sure.
So it's image consistency. That was that. And then I think some people like it trauma they don't understand a convertible is a very compact car.
Yeah.
So the moment we a video blurry because it doesn't let in a lot of light.
Ghana, you have a compatible.
Yeah, so to explain those things, but then look, it has worked.
Yeah.
So now people know this is the image at Chomi Jeso. So it's branding. The reason why Coca-Cola play red, MTN play yellow.
Yeah.
You understand? And also, sometimes you are being strategic about it. But the number two
yeah.
So I'm not like that's a plastel. What's about South Africa? What's there was a lady who was trending Malamo because why would have a phone maybe an apple and silly. Then everybody is like, yeah, silly you see. South Africans so got sued about to fudge. So just be intentional about what you want to do and do exactly that.
I get you. Now let's talk about you being Chomi Jeso. I don't understand why you would say that. Is it something that has to do with your spirituality or something alone you thought, no man, it can work for me?
Not even. So let me explain for those people why I call myself Chomi Jeso. So professionally, I used to be a journalist. So I've worked, specialized city of Johannesburg, city of Kuruleni, and then finally in the city of Tshwane. So because I was also doing stand-up comedy, we're going to go by a comedian. So Kare, as a journalist, your name becomes big because we trade in byline. So Lina Lagao, and you get a search engine optimization that is higher. So
search optimization.
The more you use it, whatever. Algorithms study Google.
Sure, yeah.
So Lina less fun for comedy and Lina less fun for journalism. So you are trying to find me as a comedian and then about Cyril Ramaphosa, meeting prasa, issues housing hijacks go Johannesburg, the next thing get issues get informal settlement to go Tshwane. The next thing get jokes, you understand?
Yeah.
So I had to realize I am two people in one at the time. So I have to split these people. So who else is James? James is also a friend of Christ, one of the disciples. So I was like, for comedy, I am James Chomi Jeso. And then as a journalist, again, James Mahlukwa.
Thank you.
So that was when I was still a journalist.
Yeah.
So I think I've always had multiple personalities.
Yeah.
So I do so many things. So now there's James. Some people know James, the coach, who speaks about relationship and issues like that.
That's the one I know. Yeah.
And then some people know James, comedian. 2019, best newcomer comedian in South Africa, the Comic Choice Awards, that was me. And then some people know James, the journalist.
And the MC.
You understand? And the MC.
Yeah.
And then some people know James, the communication professional.
Do we have James, the father?
Yes, as well. There's that. I have a beautiful 8-year-old daughter as well.
That's
so, I had to learn to separate it. James, understand?
Yeah.
Ivory Park James sticks. Because so I have a name for almost everywhere. And then when you got James if you go to the media space, to the politicians and or now I am in higher education. So now you want James, you'll find him in that.
Sure.
So it's I know how to balance it, but it's very tricky to explain.
Yeah.
So I do a lot of things. So I also do communications for maybe like a big company and others, so I'll help them with, managing their information, their website and things like that. So that is another James.
Yeah.
So what I about I don't want to mention one of the big companies because they're very popular.
Yeah.
But then those people o ka ba butša o tlhaka bona o tsamaya le nna
Yeah.
wena o bolela ka di-comedy o bolela ka
They wouldn't even
ba tlo
know.
ba confused, what are you talking about, because this gentleman can re thuša ka strategy sa rena, do you understand? So they get confused. What
Sure.
is then ka o sane o tlhakana le nna ke tsamaya le di-comedian ke na le Mashabela ke na le Bratavis, whoever, and then when you go bolela ka you're like, what are you talking about? Ka o sane o tlhakana le nna gape o nkry-a batho ba re this guy ko wena o social media what all, you understand?
Yeah.
So I move between, that's why, and most people we do this. Rena le Chomi, but the Chomi tša rena we are different personalities to them. Go na le Chomi e nngwe go na le yona, you might avoid gore o tsamaye le Chomi e nngwe gape because then they're gonna clash.
Yes.
We'll understand in
Yeah,
a way
yeah,
that the other
yeah,
one is not going
yeah,
to understand.
yeah.
So that's me. I operate like that, and I've commercialized all of these things.
I get you.
Yeah.
So, James, I don't want to talk about sticks. I don't want to talk about Pumelelo.
Yeah.
I want to talk about you as a whole. What is it that you do for a living on a day-to-day basis? Because that is one of the questions that we got from the fans when we went live. They actually want to know, what do you do for a living?
Sure, I do so many things. I do all of these things.
Yeah, journalism.
So
Are you
I'm
still
not a
into that?
journalist anymore.
Okay.
Now I'm in higher education. So we deal in brand reputation management,
Sure.
fundraising, all of those things, just to make sure that, because I got the issue of community, yes, education is a problem in South Africa.
Oh.
And then I'm also still a consultant in communications. A company or a brand or a particular person or someone who wants to build their brand or things like that. And then I'm also a coach for people who are struggling with relational issues. Maybe it could be they're struggling with communication, they're struggling, they need maybe some sort of healing, but well, they're struggling with resentment, those things as well. So I help people in that regard. Did I forget? Oh, and then I do emceeing as well. I do events. Then I do stand-up comedy. Tomorrow I'll be in Attridgeville doing comedy at a nightclub. So people always complain, I know you as this, and I've just discovered, you are actually a funny stand-up comedian. Not a Tatamachan stand-up comedian.
Honestly, I never imagined you as a stand-up comedian because based on the image that you've put out on social media, you're such a gentleman, and we don't really expect somebody of that kind to be up there wearing sneakers. Now you're making people laugh. It's such a rare thing you find in the industry, but I'm actually proud of you. The fact that you do so many things at the same time. You don't limit yourself.
No, I didn't do. I think everybody doesn't matter how long you've got so many things but sometimes you have to confine. It's like and sometimes you can understand the miracle responsibility to we are miracle but because what is when you can also produce music because what is to my service to other, but unfortunately because responsibilities let me take a risk. And for me, I remember I used to only do journalism, but I already knew what I want to do, comedy as well. So Kare, I'm realizing a pattern that most people have where miracle go way of it 6 o'clock or scheme sama se fela to 7 o bogela story se sengwe gape wa bolela go Izalo wa bolela the Queen and from there o fedile ka wena o teng ba o teile ka le kaku le lengwe le le kutukutu o go se go teng na o sana energy and then ka you wake up you do the same thing. I don't know, I can't do this because I'm investing so much of my energy just on what about me? Then I cut out TV from my life. I have no idea or real South African TV.
Not even news.
News of course. I would have to know. But then so usually the same spot is because I have 2 hours every single day that I do content work. While you may take it or I'm intentional about that. When I'm done with that, I'm dealing with consultations. When I'm done with that, that's why I have a manager, I have an assistant. You understand? Everything we move according to time. So I berekisha same places because I'm intentional about using that time. So more like a vereka. When I'm on but you understand? My brand is doing what I want to do. So that time ke berekisha bohlale. So batho bantši ra te tlema and then o bogala ditori. I feel like if ona le ntonya go e dira ile gore ke toro ya gago ga ona le TV and whatnot. Rea something for when the reward you already have 24 hours and it's very little. O fetša mo to te phelletša ka ditori. Ke le ka dira video ko manya basadi ba South Africa le kwatela banna ba lena ge ba ra banya go bogela ditori le lena. A o fetša mo o tlo lla gore monna a kgone go dira tšhelete. O tlo dira jang tšhelete ngwana go shunya ka gore monna tla patagane le wena bo ditori o fitlhela bošego. Understand? What if he has something else that he wants to do? You understand? So allow him to go and hustle, and then let's build a structure that allows him.
While you're still on that point, what I've realized is, this is something that I've picked up. Many of our kids, they are being raised by the streets because parents have sort of like forgotten that they have kids. They put so much attention on television, and then wano just go and you don't even know how the day was. You don't know anything, and then wano would strat.
Yeah.
The next thing one come on, what's happening? You know what I mean? So that is something that it goes back to the point that you were talking about. But something that I want to ask you is, for me it's art. The art of having to have the ability to speak to people and they listen and advise. Do you think when did you start realizing that you have a gift of speaking to people and actually having them to absorb the information that you actually that comes out of your mouth?
I think now also so mogala jwa ngodišitšego ke moruti. So mogala jwa ang ngodišitšego ke moruti mogolo e le gore ke no belega nna šale moruti. So mo go yena bo le mpho le yena o itšere ga malomagwe.
Okay.
So ga hlalosa story o re ba le stawa se sengwe se segolo le bile bo ka re o jutše le yena
before.
Yeah, ba tloga ba re le jutše le sore ditaba ba no makala after 2 hours se tša tiana le wena bjang. We know ga hlalosa. So nna ke gola mogala jwa thuša batho. Ke gola mogala jwa a alafa batho. Ka nako le gale le bile wa gopola batho ba rena be re sena access to health education and all of those things. So ke nako la go sana le go tša ba re motho swere ke maybe something like drop. You understand?
Yeah.
And ka nako la gale nna ke gola bo ke bona masogana ke re bona le stigma go tša motho ba jwa then ba muta or yena tuta family sa tsebe gore o tšo go bala sa mo o swele. So what tuta and ka nako la gale dutše be di gona gore di be tle bolae motho. So mogala jwa go tšhe go batho ba gona go alafa dutše dintši. Understand? So nna ke gola motho le sogana le etla ba ro swele kae ba re wa tutswa eng ba se ba tšere shoti ba e khathile ka re ke skate a shanka e go bohloko. Understand? Ke no ka mtala sega mola sori tša ya sengaka no ba motho wa go tseba la faka and then at the segela mtala mola maybe a sore le speipi o a ra motlišeng no ka monnalla yo ba mo swega kwa ke sa le monyana and then after 2 days o ile motho ene
o sharp
100% faster than lebile go ya doctor-eng ka nako e ka re tša rena bije bereka ka tsela but then mengwaga e dutšea then batho ba thoma go ba le access to healthcare and also some of the things they didn't have to do anymore. So ka baka la that thing nna ke gola I didn't take it seriously or one day maybe I'm going to have sort of the same thing he has and then it just so happened that it landed on me. But my brother used to tell me gore wena ga pola born so du tšetša mogala jwe di tlo namela wena but then now I'm like na ke nyako tirela di jokes and all these other things but you start to have a certain kind of discernment. I remember as a stand-up comedian, there's a place called the Sofeng. It's such an awkward space. We do comedy mo fase, but would perform as comedians. The comedians to speak to these people because they can't even see you. So what late? And then now as soon as I get a microphone, fit like and then I'll say 2 or 3 things. Immediately the whole place goes quiet. And then now even those guys, but my show, they're not paying attention and not because of my voice, how strong it is, because they lose the women. then if you lose the women, what's the point of sitting around the bottles?
Hey.
So now, then I would command the whole room. Now, when I perform a comedy, like a 2 year massa in some places. They like to close the shows gun. So got 2 year massa. O ja ke tsena ke le nna ke sa tshepa gore ba tlo thaetša mara ba thaetša ene ba tawele. So then I realized, I have some power in my voice. I can captivate people.
Yeah.
Then, but some people never kgona go mpotša ba the audience. Gore a wene man we le ntšhula ga wena le maloba I did a comedy show e nngwe ya English. They called me these guys Botsitsi go I forgot what is the name of that place. So we went there side Jabo. What is that place? Yeah, ba re ke the Bioscope. Come on, you understand?
Yeah.
So I just in there, I'm like, okay, so come on, it's fine. I'm still gonna do it, but then obviously I'm gonna translate for them. So I need a fraction of a second to convert the message so that I don't change the content, but then I make it align, with their understanding. And then when I was performing after the show, someone I'm your voice, the way you
But is that something that you'd consider one day? Like being a pastor? Yeah?
No, I've never even considered. I prefer not to be. I prefer not to be Muruti. I think Baruti Barnalo enough. Let them
be.
Yeah, let them do what they do. But I know my power.
Yeah. You do something.
I'm very powerful in front of people. I can make the whole room go.
Beautiful.
So
look, you do something that touches people's lives. Certain people are, whenever they listen to you, they get advice. They actually take that into consideration. Some apply it, some don't. Some criticize it and so forth. But for when, how would you describe your coaching philosophy?
So,
Ash, sorry about that. It's okay. I should have put this phone on silent. They're gonna be telling me that I'm unprofessional.
No, it's okay.
Yeah, but how?
I cut out. Yeah.
No, I'm not cutting anything. How would you describe your coaching philosophy?
So what I teach now is humility. I teach humility as an attitude to building and maintaining healthy relationships. And I teach humility also as an approach to solving problems in our personal and professional lives. So you'll never struggle to get along with people. Be it relationship ya mojolo, relationship ya mmereko.
Yeah.
As long as una lobutu. Humility is not putting yourself before the other person. Humility is understanding where everybody's feelings are valid. So the relationship struggle. And then attached to that, I teach people communication. Proper communication. Yena na di hlalosa ka tsela ya gage ka mokgwa a ithutile jona then naga di understand ka mokgwa mo. So re go ruta to communicate. Say you are a couple that struggle. One of the first things I'm going to do is to make you understand that every relationship needs to have a communication culture. So most relationships are a culture of communication. So once you have that, we can then have an understanding, or I need you to understand, or communication, number one, is a means of expression. Is fine.
True.
But communication also, we need to be intentional. What's about communication is also a tool that we are going to use to identify and solve problems. So identify, and then with that communication, we are intentionally solving those problems. And communication, most importantly, is a means to facilitate the healing experience. So when we grow apart, we don't help each other heal because we don't value or understand communication in this sense. What most people don't do, they don't see the value. And just talk. And spend more time. understand? When are you bonding? When are you understand? Ale alafane, monna re communication e gona go aga spetlele ka mo jareteng. You understand?
Are grind.
Hey, like ka communication
speaker.
Ka communication when le partner ya gago la tagala spetlele in your bedroom. So you are intentional gore ge re tsoga re no tsoga re ke tima mo, we need to invest time to lie down and talk. Ra fodishana, my brother. Re ba lwetše.
Yeah.
I am your patient, you are my patient. So people are not willing to do that.
Wow.
But now, attached to that also, I need you to understand this communication. Let's talk about coding and decoding. So coding is something I put in.
Yeah.
Or I can say it in gestures, non-verbal cues, kamatso and whatnot. This is me coding meaning. And then you have to decode that meaning. We understand. But then the problem here now, why to buy a local relationship was again. Moto because about communication, unyako code a message. Wow code. Our bolela ka mkhanya ka okay. I consent or motola ga decoder utlo mina imwe. That's why batho ba lwa kushana botlhoko. So nga go ruta all of that, but I also have to teach you guys the difference so that you are intentional about if ke feel ga rena ke bolela a ontage instead of saying nna ke feel ga re wena ke bolela o nya go ontage. I may say when I speak most of the time I feel unheard. See, this is about me. It's got nothing to do with you. But then it's my feelings and they're valid.
Yeah.
But then you are then triggered. Because I was not bothered about how you're going to decode that message.
Yes.
We're now triggered, you're not going to defend that because we're now tight. So most couples, because
and that is so unhealthy and toxic. Yeah.
They understand communication in the first sense as a means of expression. When you're going to express, you are not bothered about or to express decoder you are. What meaning is it going to produce? You understand? So when you know communication in that sense, and then just because we are able to say something, we also think about so sanjo ro te ketlele he ska mo fella pelo o mo hlalosetse jolo ka moggo ile gore a di mo trigger moya wa ga. You understand? O sa o le motho o gona ga re batho ka maka ga rena monna gesho re na le magole a re.
True.
In a relationship le motho ga go lo ka marata jonga o tseba malwetse ya ga bolela le yena in such a way that o gona go tseba ro fo motho ka gore a kushishisola sanjo re ke se a leso so re botho ego le bala ka wena o tlhonya go bolela so batho ba nya go venter. And then they never really build anything. So that communication I can teach you, but if you don't understand that it comes attached with an intentional process, what am I encoding and how are they going to decode all of that?
Yeah. And how do you handle confidentiality within you and you, because I understand that you do consultations, you have clients that come to you. How do you then handle confidentiality between you and them?
That one is not even an issue because we sign contracts and everything.
Beautiful.
It's not even an issue. So it's, and also now I don't say that's why I don't say to people they are saying most of they want specifically me. They don't care. Most of them they've been to therapy. They want specifically me. Because and you believe so those are people who come to me intentionally, and we are very secretive about everything. Nobody needs to know anything. In fact, even one of the things I do is to help people. And again, is to help people understand that they are not aware of his labeling. So, but I'm going to see that. Then Then you see we are only banking. Let me do this. So this is a basket to my relationship. I think good things about you, you think good things about me.
Yeah.
Every day, you're such a wonderful person. Oh, you're so romantic. You're such a beautiful partner. You're so patient. I've never been with someone so patient. Is the same. basket. But the mengwaga e sepela, we start to grow in frustration. Well, tomorrow, yeah, when I value your gaslighter, manipulative,
yeah.
No process, no intention is made to start releasing from this thing. So roba mo. That's why batho ba bantši feel like a relationship ka moraga mengwaga e tlo senya ka baka la ale service relationship ale. Le sore di khupi, the resentment. People don't make an intentional effort to say, nna ke feel like ke na le go bitša ntho so let me remove these things. And I never even give you a platform to say, remove all of those things. Start removing. Let's start removing. So one of the things I will do is that we will have baskets. When as monna, whatever or king jay we chao chonana lo di bola lechelo jo kusha uhloko. And then yena self utlo swara basket mo. About you have your own that side. Ochela chiana gana go ro bichecho. But then if we ask her to remove, we'll find her she still left a lot of things in there. But then your feelings are valid. So we need to go back so that the two of you can be aware or you understand? So labeling is another thing here because we keep adding and adding, but we don't make an effort on cha. So as well.
So now I want to get into something that is very interesting, which I mainly wanted to speak to you about personally, and which is why I invited you. And these are our current, everyday life type of a thing. We face this every day. It's our challenges, and I'm looking mainly at our nation, South Africa. And please, when you answer this one, because I've got a lot, yeah.
I don't know if I have the answer to my tata.
Yeah, but it's not really a problem. Yeah. It's just, having to check with you what you think, what is your opinion on such things. And just to start on it, the first one will be, in 2024, is marriage still relevant? Looking at our, we've got such a high divorce rate, So I just want to know from you briefly, we're going to go through this one by one. If you need to explain, you explain. Is marriage still relevant in 2024?
I'll say so.
Okay.
Marriage is not the problem. Problem again about we are ill-disciplined. So marriage does not have any conditions that actually are supposed to make people toxic. Is us who go into marriage go competition. Unyakonyala because age, unyakonyala because of community, unyakonyala marwa tetsbaro na wa fetch. That's why statistically speaking, more than half a manyalo fell in divorce. And of that, we are not even counting by law. We are not even counting by law. They didn't even report or whenever side together. And what's so informal.
Yeah.
So they are not even counted. But then the problem is selling nyalo la mujimulanya ka gore le because le nyalo le swana le rato le modimo re file go lona. Ke ntwe botse le gore e santse gore e re age es batho. Understand? O santse monna re shona le mathata o tla mo mmerekong ba go tshwarisha stress ba go lapisha go ya gae wa tsa gore o tlakala le motho wa gago pelo wa gago yo thobela so that you can come recharged o gona go lwa le mathata le faso be re ka le bana ba gago jwane rena re sintse manyalo a rena ka manyalong a rena ke jentwa jwa ka gare ga di relationship tša rena ke jentwa then ge re lwa re palela ko go lokisha re reng a lenyalo lona o ka ra le sala bothata se lenyalo le bothata ke rena batho are we ready for this thing or no itšea because ya tšeiwa.
Yeah.
That's why today ke bolela somo South Africa go na le a culture gore batho ba no nyala ba dutse ba tseba gore bona ba sa tlo jolela le no nyala mara wa tseba gore le sa tlo jola why o gapeletša ke mang because go batša ngwana batho ka
maybe for the wrong intentions, maybe because you saw 1, 2 and 3 money there, whatever.
Rata go dira dilo because society ya di expect gore di dire ke tsebe go le motho my brother or we no ready for eng. That's why ke o ska njumela le go le mosadi monna go nyale if he's not serious about being your friend. If go nyala gore no jula le dipoto ka ga ya phela yana jule le majita o ska nyala motho mo khuto because o tlo go bala that is not a sustainable concept. Lo eno le monna o ska nyala mosadi o mmona gore a ready go ba mosadi wa lenyalo So
Okay,
bothata gore re no dira dilo.
what are some of the signs and ingredients, or because one thing I've realized is that people get excited over the 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 glitz and the glamours of what comes with marriage, but they do not know, or they do not understand what they're getting themselves into. Like the white wedding, they love the dresses, people being invited and so forth, but they don't understand what is going to be there within them for the rest of their lives. So I just want to know from you, like, how do we get to know that, okay, this person is ready, I'm ready, she's ready? What are some of the ingredients that push us to now say, okay, even let me not use the word push, but how do we then know that, okay, we're ready for this?
You know what? Let me answer this question this way, so that people just need to grow up. People need to grow up. Ba tlogele ho itira bana. Because what's our gane jwale go ka ya Limpopo, almost every weekend go a biniwa go teiwa step. Batho ba nyala.
Yeah.
But then we know very well sometimes monna o na le nyetso already. Mosadi o la ke tsutsu. And it's not like the people just don't want to grow up. They are not making an effort to change. Sanjoro ba emele gore go tlobele mathata ba boot camp ba ba fiji ball ba role ka tsona ba re tswalla mahlo le motho wa gago e motho mo just grow up. When le mosadi wa gago le monna wa gago le ka luxa relationship ale na, we don't need to tla re le jukulusha mo fase ka di ball le rola re le tlemme ka di blindfold o nyaka eng ka re mosadi wa gago wa motse le tletse di papadi. People don't want to grow up. Don't make the decision if you're not ready. It makes people miserable. We can talk about all the signs and all of those things. People just don't want to make the right decision. I want to be intentional about protecting this person's emotional and mental health. That means I'm not going to be cheating on this person. Because also, oka cheater, your attention becomes diluted. Once otoma o cheater, anybody who's ever cheated, what's about once you cheater, attention na gago ya fokotšega to motho because gopola gago e phela ena ga nolo mongwe jwalo.
That's true.
And then also thoma go enjoy motho ka mokgwa bo mo enjoy ka go. Le thobalano ye bo enjoy so much so passionately. Ya fokotšega. O thoma go ka re ola o monate ola ya o ka re wa boranyana a go swara ka re wa go tshwenya gore o ime. Yo ka ba ka la gore wena o titlišeditše bothata jo. O ka se tutswe. O ka se tsebe ntho ile go ntse mehlobo e mengwe le ba bona go ka di mmolong ba swarane ka matsogo ba tswafetse ke baka la gore a ba tshwenye ka dilo tša go ntle. Rena re nyaka gore motho a tsene ka gara lenyalo o sa nyako kitima le kgarebe ngwe le ngwe o sa fiša ka letheka o nyako o nyala o mosadi wena o nyetse mara o sa nyako di utswa le di office husband o segiša monna gago ka batho. Then emotionally you start detaching. Mosadi yo le gore ka gae o gona ka mmele mara emotionally you start belonging somewhere else because you've submitted your body to another person. O tlo la ga jwang la palela modimo go fele go re la ga ska gape a o gana motho a gapeletša go take your time. But o ska no dira ba tlo no dira dilo because of age. Motho tsene ditlamo di stock fela kwa gae ba rena o na le di stock fela tša manyalo o sa la re le nna wa tsaka ke nyaka batho ba ntšhitše di cold drink le malwala because le nna jwane santse re ke tekenyala wena motho modimo so tsie o inyala go wa itse ba ma o reje motho cause go lla wena kwa di cold drink tšo ba di feng ga.
So, okay, let's move on to this one. I know you can flow forever. The next one is this generation of ours, Yama 2000 and stuff. Do you think they will be raising kids that are going to have morals, kids that are going to have integrity, kids that are going to be respectful, kids that are going to, know what they really want in life, or we are about to step into a different dimension?
Specifically, this generation,
yeah, my 2000. Looking at their behavior, do you think they are going to raise proper kids, and are they going to be there for them? Because kids need parenting.
You know, just something, and about bagana but disagree. These kids will do fine. These kids, sharp. The thing is, Rena are judge based on what we see on social media. There's not bana ba senyega ka mkhorona no ba senyegile ka go tsamaya gae magaeng go sala bana man bana ba sena di opportunity ba sena di tsamaya every community bana ba sala sharp problem na re bona di gafi tshetse di nyaka go theka online and all that. Then we think or bana ba ma 2000 ba, you understand? These kids are not that bad and they're going to be fine.
Hey, they're going to love this, hey?
You understand? These kids, in fact, they could be even better than us.
Yeah.
Rena re bile le mahlatse a gore re godile go sena di social media. Rena be re bapala di mantlwantlwane le ria mehlolo kwa.
Yeah.
Ba tseba mehlolo be di ria. Batho re gona banyana ba bantši ka nnyane ke basadi. Masogana mantši ba dirile diphoso tše dintši. But then there was no social media to hold them onto their mistakes forever.
Hey.
So nobody should be a slave to their mistakes, especially the ones that they're committing when they're immature. So I remember some few years ago, there's a young lady, I think, what's her name? Jelly Baby or something like that.
Jelly Barbie.
She was trending and everyone was coming at that girl because, you know, and because maybe a lady, I think, at a shop.
Yeah, it was this year. Wasn't it this year? It was this year.
And I'm like, people don't understand whether she's famous or whatever. You need to allow a child to grow emotionally as well. Manna shuki di posho je di ka re di dirile go rena tše le gore ge nka ba re recordile gane jwale nka be re manyane re nyako di uta but then bana ba re nyako mo swarela ngwana. People are supposed to make mistakes.
Yeah, true.
They are children. They are not emotionally intelligent like we are. They are not socially intelligent. Their acumen is not where we are intellectually as well. So why rena re nyako gatella bana ba ke bana ba tlogela ba dire ba tlogola bana ba o tlo ba tlo eta setšhaba sa rena pele. Tšatši le lengwe o tlo tšwelela ngwana o tlo go tša bolela ditše dingwe o lebelela content a gago ngwanyane se ke swana be se gafe because but then jone go tlo ba boima for bona because re nyako ba swarelela ka dutša gage ba sa le bana ba gola. We are not saying ba no tšwela pele ba senya not
yeah,
but then at the very same time the truth of the matter is that bana ba se ba right in majority ba sharp bana ba.
All right, I got that one. Now we're moving on. You know, as gents, I think mostly as guys, we have this conversation. And the conversation starts with the fact that there is more women in this world than men. And now, people get married. People are in a relationship. And even within men, we still have men that go to mines. We have men that go to war. We have men that we are losing. They're turning their genders into this and that. You know, we have men that are getting shot almost every day. There's a lot happening. But women are protected. And women are more. So, for those women, since men are less and we have more women, for those women that are single, I want to ask you, who should they be with? Because the number is not balanced. We have more men, more women, more women, less men. Now, the women that are not in relationships and they want to be in relationships, what happens to those?
So, I think I need to say, no, I don't have an issue with polygamy.
Oh.
And I understand, the men and women ratio is supposed to be scaled like this. There must always be basadi ba bantši than banna. Le ka shakeng o nyaka di tshadi tše dintši than dipolo. But then what
reason being?
I suppose maybe for gore lefatshe le kgone go tšwela pele. Because
productivity.
You are in their own country.
Yeah.
After 2 years,
they'll still be there. Yeah.
So I don't have a problem with polygamy. They don't necessarily have a problem with polygamy. We are not honest with people. We are monogamous. We know our we know to rata another one. So motho o tsena ka kwa ali invested or nna this is the agreement that I have. Then kwa pele kwa wa change because o nyaka motho mo.
Powerful.
But o mo nyaka not because we no ruthusha setšhaba because basadi ba bang ba desperate for one. O no nyaka e mongwe because o tsunya go tsama o utswa mo ka moka ga jona. But then a polygamous man, a proper polygamous man is very clear. O tlo botsa rena ngwana re shuka ka lapeng le ke tswa go lona. Papa ba na le basadi ka bararo. Mogalabe before papa ba na le basadi ba 7. And matla a bona be ba na le dikgomo tse solo be ba kgona go tlhokomela malapa. I come from the same culture. And nna ke ikemedisitse go tlo ba le basadi ba bararo. Mosadi go ka mmotsa basadi they just want you to be honest. You will be surprised what's our over mosadi neto the things they will agree to.
They just need to digest.
So ishna ke go rata hey wan khatla eng ngara wanna I want 3 women. Are you okay with that? That's what I want. Adumela a tseba go sa le ena o mathomo. Jwale rena re nya go di spina kwa pele kwa. And then because uria ka botsotsi o reileng you've cheated, now you've diluted your attention. Now you are less affectionate, less attentive. You don't communicate as much. What happens? That relationship starts to struggle. By the time this woman finds out, or you even have another woman, she's frustrated, she's in pain. Now she associates the new woman with that pain. She associates the pain with you because she feels like you're causing the pain. The other woman is causing the pain. Now this woman is fighting the one. And it was a mona shunto go massage because basadi o ka se ba defeat emotional. Mosadi o kgona go rata a ba go hloye at the same time. And banna ba bantši they don't understand that thing. Mosadi tšola pelo mo khupisha o tlo gona bona mosadi o gona go rata a ba go hloye at the same time. O tlo thoma go se tsefele ke lapa la gago. O lwa ka almost everything, almost every day. O tlo phela o jitse di tavern go jima makrate sa go ya gae. Because kwa gae go tuka mollo mosadi o rei and these people are relentless ba lwa. Mosadi monna go shu basadi they are fighters. O leboge modimo ge mosadi wa gago a sa lwela wena. A solela lapa la gago. A sa lwela union ya lena. Because once she's through fighting for you, Ajika so now she fights you. She fights now against you.
Okay, let's move on. Hey, this now sounds personal. Okay, moving on to the next. How there's a lot of couples probably been married for such a long time. Some they've been in a relationship maybe 5 years, 6 years, but then the spark just seems to not be there anymore. It's dead. They find it difficult to do the things they used to do. They find it difficult, and more especially when people have kids. Once there's a child involved, now things change. How do couples revive the spark back into the relationship and still be able to view your man as your man, your woman as your woman, like the way things used to be?
Honest conversations. Very uncomfortable conversations. So this thing here, the spark dies. Sometimes the spark dies because things that were not supposed to happen happened. What happened to the feelings and attention and affection?
They went down.
They were diluted. Ye mongwe became what? Disrespectful, resentful, impatient. What happens? The feelings is there first. But then to just without actually realizing what damage did we do to each other. Because also the moment they realize the spark is in trouble, I think people should ask themselves questions or okay.
What happened?
Before can we say 100% sure or ba gona banna ba ntši ba le gore ba founela my manager re monna ke nyako wa tsa mosadi wa ka every time a sa bolela nna ya ke sa tsefela ka bophelo wa tsa keng ke nyaka Chomi Jeso nthuše because mosadi ke re ke a bolela o nromela video Chomi Jeso understand o thubile lapa la gage o re o nyako lokiša ke mo fetša ntse ke bolele le yena wa mo ka re motho a tswa fetša ntwa e riago o nsenyetša nako because o ka se nyako go aga lapa pato o nyako o tšwela pele o sa o tile dikgarebe mo lethekeng la gago. So the two of you, one of the first things you need to do, make sure the spirit energy you cannot be attached to other people snacks and then spark. You are not going to do it.
Powerful.
So you guys have to be clear. Be sure, okay, okay. Now I'm saying to you, and what the pone chulu, or na aksana batho, aksana butsotsi bo go riang. Lueni, can you assure me the same thing? Okay, fine. That's step number one. So it's my energy and your energy. Now we need to sit back and ask each other these questions because relationship it struggle for 4 reasons. Because when you change, naga change. Because naga change, when our change. Because the two of us we've changed, or because the two of us have failed to change over a long time. So because of those things, I can remember change our developer. Then we now do develop. Now I cannot keep growing professionally. Kerata dilo just entertaining. Ke bogala di Netflix. Di what. Ke muthunyana wena no so salon kharebela ke hlakana le ona high school. Someone is going to be in trouble here.
Self-development.
Because there's no self-development on both sides. But at the very same time, the two of us can change. When we are professional, we excel too much, and then we grow apart. So the issue is not that. Those things, those circumstances are inevitable. So what happened? Change or sometimes you don't even need to get far. You find what it was because nerichitela or naga tomaga or chitela, we know toman delel.
Do you think vacations maybe they can play a role in reviving back the spark, or it's useless if you guys are still doing the same thing?
It's useless. That's why I get it. People need to grow up. Because but then if you are not willing to change and make a grown-up's decision, I want to lead. Because usually the couple happy, but the coach, like the step check out the message. So what's the point? Why are we wasting time? Why are we wasting money? That's why people need to grow up, my brother. Let's talk. Where are we? Where are we emotionally? Can we have a deep conversation? Can we be transparent with each other? What is hurting us? And then so that we can identify the resentment that have grown, in this relationship. Why are so? Why are and let's talk honestly about those things. But as long as most people, the reason why the relationship is struggle, but we're not raluki shamara so people need to have serious conversations about faith. That's why before libilo complicated. If it's an relationship is serious, masaju amrata mo khetile me brother. Utupuricho roe now she's a diamond. This is a queen. Skaba jolla that woman. And o rapele hore modimo go thusitse go fele bohlale jwa gore o kgone go kgetha mosadi no tsotsi ya mosadi o ile gore go mo tshwara jwale ka queen, she reciprocates and goes into a real feminine energy, and then you can be in your most masculine energy. Mo jalo you are sharp ona mata you know titlishetsa mathata wena o re yang o tlo hlakahlakanya life ga
wa gore ba re ngalo wena mo we
okay nna ke tsebe ke tlo khwata ka mga ga lena o tlo go gore yang khwata di dingwe tsona di ngama o bona mathata ona le go ola monna ga issue asa o sa thoma o sa le dinyano nto ba re peace of mind o tlo e trauma o phelo o sa tlo pela o tlo tja o record o lebetse le go pressa record mo ka baka la gore o tshwere o fisha ke le theka o nya go robala le ntong le ngwe ele o sore go tloga mo sore ke go bona ele re ke a bua Chomi Jeso ba bolela go tselele re go tshika ngwalela wa ya kwa pisela monna gesho o tlo e draw.
Okay, here's the next one. Something that people are so uncomfortable talking about is, I'm just gonna put it blatantly. Is pornography healthy for a relationship?
Sure. Hey, I'm not an expert to speak about that one. I think it depends on what to read to Melcha. If I'm to you may feel like you don't want to see those things. If I'm to usually what is psychology, you may feel like that naughtiness when the partner, you can do it. And then someone may say, if it's all about your beliefs. I don't think anybody who says to you, watch porn together, and as if like it's the definite right, definite wrong. They just no. Nobody can say that for a fact. It depends on the person. Your beliefs should guide you. If we're not going because you feel like it's as long as you're still doing within healthy constraints. Then it's fine.
Then let's talk about sexuality in a relationship. right? What is the proper approach to this topic or this? Because it's a doing thing. It's an action type of a thing. So, what is the proper approach to sexuality whenever two people are involved?
Okay, so when we talk sexuality in this regard, do you mean as like a sexual orientation or sexual intimacy?
Intimacy. I'm talking
Yeah,
about
or-
intimacy.
What is the question again?
What is the proper approach? Because sometimes you find out that you might have men or a woman. It's not only men but also women that have got a high sexual drive, and then the man has got less. You know what I mean? And also this thing of, I've heard a lot of people that talking about whenever we've got problems in the house, this
But remove the services.
yes, it's no longer a thing,
Yeah.
things change a little bit, but whenever we happy, finances are good, and then the sexual drive also goes high, type of a thing. And also this thing of, let's say you've got a man that usually comes back home late, and then when you come back, they're like, hey, go back to where you come from. I'm not gonna participate in that. So I just want to know, like, what is your thinking around that?
Okay, I hope I can answer your question thoroughly, or,
Sure.
because it's a very,
However,
it's pregnant, so
Yeah.
there's so much
Yeah.
to pick. What I'll say is that intimacy in that regard is very important, without doubt. Unless it's still feji, likiva bili, you spinal cord is a very what tomorrow le take still for official, we understand. Understand? Maybe lo godile.
Yeah.
But for rena baswa le batho ba bagolo, it's very important that we make love as a couple, because it's a very binding thing. It helps us to bond, but most important, it's a very spiritual thing. That's why ke sanya ke gore motho a tla a robala le because ke diphošo re dira gore sa jwa ra tseba, then re tsama re rwala meboya e ka moka ga yona, then from there o nola ka ga ya go sa tsefa batho ka montle ba le tia ka diqhitho, because you understand.
Yeah.
So that thing o ka e hlompha gore is a spiritual thing, and wa e share le motho wa gago le sa tšhilafatše ka meboya ya batho ba bangwe le tlo ya gole. But then also we need to be honest le ka yona, or sexual compatibility is very important. Someone may have a high sex drive, someone may not have. And we need to see how can we meet each other halfway. There are professionals. There are professional healthcare services that can help you with that. And also you need to know what this thing, how do we avoid being predictable?
Yes, that's the one I'm looking for.
Yeah, so we have fun, you understand? We go on, retreats, we go on events, things that are going to make us go home, drive, maybe you can't wait to get home.
Yeah.
You understand? Today. That's fun, understand? Because unpredictable is a new environment. You need that new stimulation always. Those things are important.
Because you'll hear, now I go pilalaso.
Jody relationship. Oh, no, predictable.
Yeah.
Eventually. And it's not but you contribute to cheating.
Yes.
When there's no compatibility. That's why it's very difficult to root basadi ka banna. Because I can say something as simple as what's our monna ga go rata ba go cheatela at the same time. Uka basadi ba. My sister, you want to explain a man with a woman's feelings? At the same time. You know that to be true. You know that to be true. Mara ge o leka go e hlalosetša mosadi o tlo nyaka go berekiša maikutlo a ba motho a go cheatela. My sister, the reason why le sa re kwešiše re palela ko go le hlalosetša, because you get triggered. Re nyaka go ruta ka monna o mo kwešiše gore monna o bereka jwang. Nka go rata ngwana gešo ka ba ka go cheatela.
While you're still there, something just came to my mind. And this is usually the struggle between men and women. Logic versus emotions.
Okay. Now, I'll come to that. And I think, just before I answer you, The reason why I get it, monna ka go rata ba go cheatela. Because monna ka go cheatela simply because sexually o kgona go thaba somewhere else. Because when I feel to a point where, you know, Ausana,
The interest is...
and the two of you are not educated enough to know what you have a problem. Let's solve the problem. I'll communicate. You don't identify and solve a problem. So because of that, to put our solution, that's the beginning of the collapse. So why under so?
Let's speak from a woman's basis.
Yes. Then I'll to come to that. So you want me to answer that question about logic and
before we get to that one, let's speak about this. What makes a woman move away from a man because of sexual activities?
Like incompatibilities or sexual activities whereby
no, she would cheat because she feels like she's not similar to a man. Yeah. Yeah.
O ile gore sala tsena fielding a go bolela ka motho o no topa soulmate di sa tloga o ile gore o ile a ratana le banna o tseba spinal cord o tseba banna ba go tseba go dira mmereko monna gesho o ile gore ba ile ba mo fihlisha gole mosadi o monna gesho go ka se mo khotsofatse o swara ke tlala ye nngwe ya semoya o tlo go utswetsa. It's not sustainable. Mosadi monna gesho go sa ba ska go botsa maka o botse basadi ba go botse nnete monna gesho basadi ba ile gore ba ile ba tsena fielding a go bolela ka batho gore from straight from high school ano tlaba shatla mosadi yo le gore o tseba go khotsofatsa ke monna. My brother, mosadi o santse mo khotsofatsa.
If she played for Manchester, Juventus, or Real Madrid,
because basadi ba torope, because also they're very emotional. Ba nyaka go khotsofala. You have to take her somewhere. You can't keep it when every day you the headline and you go lo chika tseleng o no ka mo bua gape go mthunyalo mo go tsola o rata banyana o napa o mo tena la mafelelo because o bona o ka re o tsamanya go fafasa boshai ba go le fasele ka mo a o gone go mo khotsofatsa. That's why mosadi mo le mo ya tsena go fielding o na le lenyora la gagwe o na le yena monna gagwe Mr. Spinal Cord go shisnisha pula straight ye le gore bona o kokotela ntong go serselo. This guy bona o kokoro tsa go ra ba feto ngaka ma hlwa jukuluga ra ka re ke ngwana undertaker what mozalo mosadi ya fitlo mo me brother wena o tlo tla mo ga dimpanyana ja me go jile ba tla o usa ba tlo berekisha for what ban tsama phela ona mara ba tlo re ene wa le thekanyana la go se bereka ona ntwe ntira go yona.
I guess this is where your stand-up comedy kicks in now.
And I'm just being honest. Massage mona go ska moropa.
Okay, now let's get to this one of logic versus emotion. Because that's usually the struggle between two.
So when it comes to that one, I think the mistake that happens is that as humans, we've villainized emotions. We've just concluded that emotions are wrong. Or the emotions are inferior to logic. It's a scenario by scenario thing. Nka mo modimo ba re balance ka gona. Go aga lapa monna gesho.
You need both.
O ka le eta pele ka logic ya gago. But then lapa la go hloka the strength and the emotions of a woman. Lapa le o le ka swana monna gesho. That's why ka ga ye go tlhokofala mma. Bana ba gona go fila ka re lapa le sala ka mogola. Mogalaja ga ba gona. Mara ona le ntongwe ya short. So rena re dirile go re ba dile dipuku jwane re bala re we are chasing logic. Yeah, but then logically there's nothing wrong with emotions. Emotions are the reasons why malapa a emeletse monna gesho. Because mosadi o swara lapa ka emotions tsa gagwe. Mosadi power ya gagwe ke eo. So ska e bona o ka re ke weakness and ke posho re dira o rena is batho. We've started to villainize the emotions. Low and self, they help you become a good father. It doesn't come from a logical point of view. It comes from an emotional place. That's where emotional intelligence is helping you. So you care about how people are going to be affected emotionally when you do certain things. You need to know, okay, I need to apply emotional maturity here. It's not a weakness. Emotion and logic, all of these things, they're available. You need to have a good dose of both.
Thank you on that. I think I'm going to touch on this one. There's many, but I want to touch on this one as the last one. Actually, I wish I can go on and go on.
It's okay, we can carry on. We've got a bit of time.
How important is respect
in a relationship?
Yes.
Respect is very powerful, and respect is very crucial. Respect is bohlokwa. Respect again ke botho monna gesho. I've said this before. Ke o manya basadi ka taba tse tša gore motho o thoma o bolela ka respect. Šitše ba go botša respect is and respect goes both ways. Ngwana gesho, respect ke botho. It doesn't matter gore mosadi or monna. Ge re le batho re santse re hlomphana.
And also respect yourself.
And respect is not a condition. O ska botsa ma o botša batho gore motho santse gore a gore mo hlompe a dire so le so le so le so. Santse gore no respect batho because that's who you are. That's how you're going to build healthy relationships. So batho ba bantši re a go batšana ka gare ga di-relationship, and then o ye relationship tše dingwe o konana ka respect because o go baditše ke Jonathan. O hlakana le wena ke nyako go tima respect ra e banna o tsa o ba respecta motho o tla bapala ka wena ngwana gesho. You need to heal. O realize gore o na le monno e le gore o mo hlomphile, wa mo dira motho, wa mo fa mmele wa gago, wa mo fa bana, wa mo fa boswa ba gago, a tšea respect ela a go batša ka yona. Le kgono o go tšhentšhitše o kunana ka respect wena. Monna ga re respect, you become triggered because mo go wena a o kgone go realize that it comes from your pain. That's not who you are. Go godišitše ke batswadi ba go ba lerato, ba go godiša ka molaetša wa modimo. Wa tseba gore bo tloga bonnyaneng ba gago bo tlhompha batho because you were a good girl. You became a good woman. But then somewhere along your womanhood, someone hurt you. O kušitše bohloko, so you are very defensive. O nyako timana ka respect. Ke botho. If you need to heal, heal. Sometimes banna re na le go tšhabela basadi because dipolelo tšo ba di bolela ga ba kgone go tekwa.
Yes.
So rena banna o tse monna o pela o pay attention ka mokgwa moo. A tla tšere o yo go betše o thoma ro respect šetša. Okay, motho o go o sa gona motho a mo kušitše bohloko, but then sometimes it's not my job to fix her. Why must I spend my time le motho o le gore o kwele bohloko when I can find someone who is in a better place?
Yeah.
Respect ga ka swana gore go e bereke. So now gona le mongwe nyano so setša a nyako a triggered still, even if I explain this, because comprehension is an issue.
Yeah.
O tlo re ya motho ka mo respecta jwang a tšwela pela go cheatela. My sister, we are not talking about scenario ya gago. If o tšwela wena le segafi sa monna sa pela se cheatile o dira bana go ntle left right and center, we are not talking about you. We are talking about back to where you come from. Respect ke botho. That's how you show botho ba gago go batho. Ska berekisa ja, we understand. Do your healing. O kgethe motho mo right o ile gore go mo tlhompha o go bontšha gore le ena ke motho le ena ba go tlhompha. Ke tlhago ya lena go hlomphana. That's where you start to see the value of dating people who are kind. So I think
what's your opinion on slay queens?
Slay queens.
Yeah.
You know, I like that you asked me that question. I actually made a video. I'm gonna post it. You see, Ramasadi Ali slay queen. Yena te bujor o nyaka di tšhelete, o nyaka go rekilwa ding, o nyaka di allowance.
The expectations are high, actually. Yeah.
Problem ya rena is batho tsa keng entitlement. Re nyaka ba entitled ka maphelo a batho ba bang. So wena because ha ona tšhelete o bona ngwanyana ena la di high standards a rena ke nyaka di nkiše Dubai o ntreng o no nyaka o tšega emotionally because you feel like you're not good enough. O tlo moroga ya o tsoma sister ya go lena vele le rata eng my brother. Go na le mosadi le gore o tlo go rata le 3000 ya gago. And I got so sokodiša ka se go tshwenya. Why o nyaka go foster motho ke choice ya gage. You are not entitled to ngwano a change rena a feel o ka re a sa deserve 50,000 a month. Motloga sometimes o tsa re no latelela mathata. Re no nyaka go tshwenya moya ya rena. E swana le gore mosadi my brother ga ka re nna monna o tloka koloi ya ke monyaka monna go se bereka ke monyaka because nna ke nyaka go ya dating ka taxi ke choice ya gage. Because wena ona tšhelete re dire my brother re mmolaye mosadi re mo kobe mo South Africa. Re because wena o nyaka mo gapeletša ra go rata a go nyaka o mosadi o a nyaka wena se wena type ya gage. Now same thing, let's flip it. Re ka banne.
Yeah.
Wena or wena irrespective whether or not wena o na le bana ba itu wena o nyaka mosadi ana le go ngwana. That is your choice, my brother. basadi ba tla ba trigger ba rogana ya mara wena o na le bana o tsamaya o re yeah my sister monna o a go nyaka le bana ba ga wo a nyaka wena.
Go find the suitable
You are
one.
not entitled to ra change for wena re direng re mmalaye monna o re mo kobe ma South Africa re mishe kae re mishe Malawi because wena o nyaka go rata le bana ba gago wa e le nyaka go gapeletša to force your values tlogela motho a dire choice a gage go nyaka go ba a slave queen you can be a slave queen monna o mongwe o tla go fa 50,000 every month 100,000 there's no problem phela ngwana gešo it's a choice you made motho o mongwe le mongwe a tloga mo lefaseng o lebelela go modimo ke mo ka mogala ba re beya fase ka moka rena re bana ba rena ka for free will ela ke lefile go yona le dirileng jale modimo a nyaka o tseba gore wene mo lefaseng wene bo criticize batho because of ke di-gay or because of ke di-lesbian or because of modimo o lebeletse wene o lebanana le mogalabe straight
Yeah.
a re ngwana ka mpotse ka free will ye nna ke go file go yona.
What did you do?
What did you do? Modimo o bolela le wene directly o tla senya energy ya gago e lwa le batho thongga moya ba gago titrigara o ka se di fetse wa tsa kere my brother la o ka hloya slay queen wa soroga every day mo social media tomorrow there is another one.
Eish.
Yeah,
They keep adding.
apara go week ya go tura for the first time hey this thing was nice o tlo ba gona o tla ba fetša ka moka bona
I never.
every single day there's a man who's making a decision gore nna mosadi wa ba le ngwana a ke sa monyaka irrespective gore yena o na le bana for yena the fact that wena o na le ngwana o sa le type ya gago because yena a nyaka go dila le bo baby daddy because lena le ba attached to bo baby daddy a sa nyaka di-drama tseo tša gagwe a sa nyaka whatever sa tlhego sa e nyaka yena o nyaka mosadi o mongwe le mongwe a mofe ngwana wa ga mathomo if ke choice re direng ngwana gešo re direng ke choice e dirago what can we do? Is the entitlement that is hating us. Ke ba lebeletse mo social media ba lwa ba rogana wa roga ke re tsa bana ba gešo ge le ka no lebella batho whatever they are saying and say oh so this is what this person thinks okay peace salwa bana nna mo social media ke respond to anybody ke ya wena
it's not worth the end.
I don't care. Wise people they teach, intelligent people want to compete. I don't have time for that. People who follow me are people who know that there is value in the things that I say. They want to learn something from me. I will share that because I believe I can impart some knowledge. And maybe someday when you have a platform, I can learn from you. I learn from other people. Na ke go di sheke mogala ba moruti go hlomphega go rata ke batho. Moruti mahlokwana wa Pegasford. Mogala ba go di sheke. O nrutile jang nrutile go tsona mpha bophelo mpha bohlala. Le nna go ruta ba ba. Go na le ba bang le nna ba nruta. But then what the kgetha mo lefaseng gore where do you want to learn? Tsa go tlhaonya go he ke na gale ke ba bona TikTok ba ba topotsa re ke tla ba engage. I don't care.
Hey, I think that deserves a round of applause. That is very powerful. Hey, wait, no, yes. Do it. James, I have a question for you. You know, you've said so many powerful things, and I can see that, like you've got roots, and you're not going anywhere.
I'm enjoying this.
Amazing. Are you?
But what I want to know,
oh yeah. Are you a married man?
The question so many people like to ask. I get that question almost every day. And other questions related to that.
Okay.
I am not married. A lot of people, especially women, they think I'm married.
Yeah, because the tongue says you are married. The tongue.
Sure. I don't know how I give people that impression. I'm not married. I think I'm still young.
Even the way you carry yourself, man, it's like, hey, you know?
No, not yet.
Okay.
Will I get married? If I feel is
time.
Yeah, it's time and it's safe to do so. Because also, but then this is not because I want to do this in marriage. Even now, my growth has taken me to a certain point where I'm like, I'm not going to hurt one tomorrow. So, and I think I would like to, implore every man, let's try and do that.
While we're still there, let's go to the fans' questions, because they did pose questions. And while we're still talking about marriage, I want to talk about this one of how many girlfriends does James have? That was one of the questions we got.
Yeah, I have 0 girlfriends at the moment.
0.
Yeah, you see, now you're gonna create a problem for me because people think, yo, I get like so many of these questions. The things I get in my inbox.
Yeah.
Sometimes my manager is like, "I'm Jeso, so this is like now sexual harassment." Yeah, and I think she's an activist. For her, she doesn't take those things lightly. And I think I'm like, we never take sexual harassment seriously. Like, when on rumela dinepe, or nkgopela ding, like banyana ba nrumela, you know, ba nkgopela dilo and saying, yeah, please, you see my manager is like, don't even let
mention it.
Yeah.
They send you all kinds of things. Let's
So
put it that way.
yeah, it's but then you are dealing with a different kind of beast here. So I don't entertain those things.
Nice.
I've made a lot of my mistakes. I've done almost everything there is to do. God knew that I needed to do these things so that I can grow and then He can use me. You know, I've experienced a lot of things, my man. I once. Hey, I was thinking about this just recently because I was talking about someone about something like this. So I remember one time I was doing a show many years ago, maybe 2017, 2019, in a place called, I think it's called Suits Go, Carltonville. Yeah. It's an entertainment venue and then there's a guest house just behind. And there was this, you understand, I was talking bad combo. And they booked me. So when they book you, they even book accommodation for you. So there used to be a guy, well, he's still there. He's a lovable brother. People love him, go Carltonville. He does events, so he called me for an event and I went, comedy show, killed it. Then he called me again because people loved me, destroyed the place. And there was this woman I was talking about, you know, Tobalano, and the position, you know, the doggy style. And then after the show, this event is like, this woman is like, you understand? And in my mind, I'm like, I go to work, I do my thing, I don't. You know, some of the most famous people who do shows, 700. All of that money finished the very same night and the next morning. But they're high maintenance. Sure. So now it's just like some of my friends go about He's a married man, like a true married man. He's unbothered. He doesn't care. So when you go to Bereka, I said, comedians like that, well, like they just don't care. I don't know I just I know she on a room and we book it whatever, you understand? Yeah. I don't know what Satan got into me. Orchestrating. Hey, I think I gave that woman a chance. And I think I was single at the time. I was like, what's that? This girl. So, Utmadi Savannah, you know, and eventually she was like, okay, it's fine. Then like, okay. We ended up talking and then we went, bad combo. Why do they put suits and then a nice guest house right in the same yard? Oh my God. Yeah. Then we went to my accommodation. Yeah. Whatever she wanted to show me, she showed me. Whatever. Throw me, bra. I'm sure ma 5. Yeah. So can't be this girl. Obana Savannah Chebadi, you know, Udi Ruti Lega Makaracho. Unrute check 5 liter. Yeah, Savannah. And I don't even drink alcohol. 5 liter. What's a melange? What's a morutane? Naroche rota manavish. Morut. What's a morutana? What would say about Moruta? Was so lume the way you son of Moruta strange. Morutara Gela Luma. I just got it. I think so, you know, Sanga Lumera. So, you know what, ne? Katsu, at the time, I remember. Normally, an article about me, would it daily son about this guy is a new up and coming comedian. Because there was a time and they were writing a lot of things about it. So, Kiatsura. Yeah, because I'm like, what happened to Rutage? Because Kikolovi, but I want crime and I'll Morutaka and Sibogas and Lumidis, and I wrote your Ruta. Yeah, I can leave you on a shower. Ramon. Ugar Rovichu with Magala White. O kolobile molo. So ke tsamaya. Ke ya go showereng, ke shower I didn't even want to do this, man. You understand?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry, my sister. I know you probably still remember me. So
5 liters.
oh, bra, ya savana, e hlakane le morutu ya ni fisha. E loma. So ka tia shower. After taking a shower, ke a boa, ke re ke tsoša that lady. Ke re what hey my sister, tsanjoro o tsamaya o hlapa shimpeto o. You understand? So this woman ha tsoga. Ke nagana gore o tla ke timela shower. This girl, the first thing she does, o sa topana ra savana. I'm bothered but the fact that o rutile yo. I was like, e ke re ke lebella matras, ke tšea dikobo ke di lahlela ko ke. Cause ke nyako flipa matras wa batho. When at least I don't have to deal with. I know they are used to dealing with a lot of crazy things. Ka re ke flipa matras, my brother. Base.
Yeah.
Kolobi. Ka lebella ka fast. It's even like go fast kwa go witcher. Ya gara this woman was like ba cholla straight savana ka mga yona like ka ranto motho le je ka ena.
One of the questions that the fans asked you is, what is it that you love about yourself?
I consider myself someone who's socially intelligent.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can read rooms. I can I'm a chameleon.
Yeah.
You know?
You switch through there.
Yeah, university, I'm there with the vice chancellor and we're dealing about serious issues, writing important, strong stuff with receiving delegates from China, Russia, everywhere. We are going there, we're making people laugh. Later on, I'm flipped again. I'm another person.
Yeah.
So I have multiple personalities because I think it helps that I'm socially intelligent. I feel like this.
Beautiful.
So I just need to know who to be in front of these people.
Something I want to say before we even end the show is that I think it's your birthday on the 16th.
Oh, yeah.
So happy birthday in advance. When is let's check when is it? Yeah. When is the 16th? Monday. Beautiful. I think we should drop this episode on your birthday. Yeah. Beautiful. So happy birthday in advance.
Thank you, bro. Do that again,
So yeah, everybody who's gonna be watching this, please wish him happy birthday on the comment. I wish you all the best on the day. Yeah, send money. Send money, e-wallet, whatever that you need to do. Yeah, but otherwise, my brother, I think I think I've gotten to, for me, it's been a wish to actually sit down with you and, actually digest some of the things that I always see on social media, but speaking to you like face to face like that, I get to even learn so much. I get to understand the type of a person that you are, and also what you're trying to do for the community, because it's not just about yourself. It's also about the message that you're trying to deliver to the people. So I think you are a very intelligent man. And one thing I'll always stick to is your cleanliness. You are so clean.
Thank you.
You know what you're doing. And I can only wish you the best in everything that you're going to be doing from this point onwards and going forward. And I wish also this platform can bless you going forward. But one thing I would like you to leave us with is a message for our audience, for our people, for people who are in relationships, people who are struggling financially, whatever that you think is important for South African citizens right now. What is it that you would like to get across?
I'll say something because I'll have enough time to elaborate on this when my book comes out. Can I say that? Okay, yeah. So my manager, when she says okay.
Yeah, okay.
It's not your job to fix broken people. I think all of us as human beings, we need to realize that there are too many broken people on this planet. And because we are human, we like to help people. We like to think we can change people. And sometimes we break ourselves trying to help broken people. And that's why I keep saying this consistently. If you're not a doctor, you're not a professional, it's not your job to fix broken people. You will drown trying to change those people, trying to fix them. Doesn't matter how good the relationship with Jamarato, doesn't matter how good the relationship with the professional, you will break yourself trying to fix broken people. Ba bang ba ba lena le a tlaishega mo moyeng. Dilo tša gago tša bophelo di tsamaye gabotse ka baka la gore o kgotleletše o a gapeletša go lokiša gore o tšhentšha motho. Amogela ngwana gešo o ka se ba kgone ka moka. Tlogela Modimo a dire mmereko wa gage. Le a togobatša le le ka go tšhentšha batho ka baka la re le nyako computer le Modimo. Go na le batho ba bang journey ya bona or what they're going through ke ntho e ba e rutago ke Modimo goba di-ancestors tša bona. It's their lesson. You don't have to break with them. Sometimes mo tlogele motho o tlo tšhentšha o tla tla go makatša ba moruti e be a go tlaiša wena. Wena o togobaditše o re o leka go mo tšhentšha wa tla go bala times 2 because o mo lebeletša tšhentšha ba moruti jwane a thoma a aga setšhaba a rata motho mongwe a sa rata wena. Wena wa re motho la o go gobaditše because you were forcing to fix someone, not realizing it's not your job to fix broken people. Ithute go bula office ya gago le Modimo ka pelong ya gago. Mo felago o tsenya lengwalo o re Modimo mphe matla le bohlale ke kgone go tseba tsele ke tswe mo ke sa nyake go gona gore Modimo a kgone go go bona ge o tlaišega ka dikamanong tša gago a go ntšhe maphelong a batho ba bang if yours there is just to suffer because Modimo a go tliša mo lefatsheng gore o tlaišege. It's not your job to fix broken people.
Hey.
Thank you, my brother.
Thank you so much, my brother. This was beautiful. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe. This is Limpopo Podcast. We love you so much. Tanko. Say bye.